Specifically, he's struggling with how does this male-female dynamic actually fucking work.
Yeah.
And us speaking to him almost sounds offensive to people who don't need his help, our help. Meaning, like, people in the light don't understand how important light is, like a person in the darkness does.
Yeah, I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, I told him I'ma hit it out of stands. I deserve another 100.
Welcome to another episode of the Married Game Podcast. We are the voice you trust when it comes to lust. We are who you hire when she lacks desire. Over the New Year's Eve, Jesse and I got awfully snuggly. And 2 days later, a lady at the gym said I was ridiculously ugly. Welcome to the show.
You're so excited to tell your story, aren't you?
Oh my God. It brought up when I was back in 5th grade and was told I was ugly by the girls. It brought for an instant. And I was like, oh my God. And then it was like, just became the funniest thing ever. So you're saying what happened? Well, do you want to know about the New Year's Eve snuggly part, or do you want to know more about
I know about it.
You lived it. Let's go. Happy New Year, Jesse Joy, our first podcast of January.
Yay.
You look stunning,
You're so
as
sweet.
always.
So sweet.
So sweet. I'm pulling into the gym.
There I was,
And
driving
there we
along,
were, driving
minding my
along.
own business.
Focused on other things until there we were. You're so stupid.
No, you are.
I know. So I'm driving up, and there's a lady in front of me. Once I get into the garage structure, right? Don't even see her before I get there. And there's these 3 parking spots on the right, and I'm thinking she's going to pull into them, but there was 1 parking spot on the left. So little did I know she was going to be pulling into the 3, fake out, and then back up to get into the other one. It would have been just 1 move. Boom.
So you thought you could go as she's pulling in.
I'm thinking she's going to pull in, then I'm going to probably pull into the spot next to her.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what this lady did. Rather than go right, she pulled in right and then backed up to go left. Mm-hmm. And then turns to me and flips me off with the double bird. And I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm mouthing this, do you need me to back up? So I back my car up. And then she wiggle waggles to get into her thing like another 3 turns. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking at one point, she's now actually going to turn around and come back driving at me.
To go back out and go.
Okay. I thought it was a one-way street, but never mind. She pulls in. I go past her. I pull in. I'm 4 or 5 spots away from her. And so I walk out to go, hey, sorry about that. I didn't know which spot you were going to turn into. That's exactly what I said. Just trying to ease the mode. I haven't had somebody double flip me off. I don't think ever.
I have.
Okay. So, because you're kind of a rough driver like that.
Yeah.
You're aggressive. Yeah. I'm chill. I'm vibing. I'm going to my workout. I'm ready to roll. And then she goes, well, you've been tailgating me the whole entire way. And what are you in a big rush to, what are you in some big ass hurry? I'm in a rental, blah, blah, blah. Goes off on me. And I'm like, I had and this is where my smart alecky came in. And I go,
you're good at that.
I go, I'd never seen a 17-point turn like that before. She goes, well, I've never seen someone so ugly wear short shorts before either, so we're learning something new today.
Wow.
So there it was. Instant, oh my God, I haven't been called ugly since 5th grade. And then, and I just said Happy New Year to you. I wish you the best of luck in your new year.
Yeah.
And she just stomped off.
Yeah.
What do you think causes people to do that?
Oh, well, thousands of things. I was going to say I love how you handled it. Well, not being the dicky part, but being a little snarky is funny. But because you don't know what she's going through, right? And it could be a million reasons why.
Yeah.
So it's it's just whatever. I'm not going to let her ruin my day.
Yeah, I saw her again today.
You did?
She didn't catch eyes with me, but I walked up behind her.
You didn't go to her and just smile in her face?
No, I'm waiting.
Smiling's my favorite.
I wanted to do 17 of those types of things because of there's an asshole that lives in all of us, and that and one in me specifically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a million different ways. You want to hear the worst line I came up with that I'm not going to tell her?
Okay.
I want it. This is just the confessional.
Look at you just thinking about it after too.
Well, 100%. Have you ever had somebody come up and tell you that to your face? Flip you off for like no reason and tell you that to your face?
Flip me off all the time, but like no, I've never.
Yeah, it was just it was such a I was in such a happy new year, let's go.
Yeah, of course.
To you're so ugly, blah blah blah. Like, and I was just like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah.
Not the energy I was expecting, but we can roll with it. Hey, happy new year, best of. I'm proud of myself of how I responded as well.
Yeah.
In the moment. Now afterwards, I'm thinking through. I wish I would have
said this.
I should have said this. Yeah.
This
So the thing that came up this morning that I wanted to approach you with, and I did not, because I'm holding discipline.
You're more mature.
I'm maturing.
Yay,
Yes, I'm maturing. I wanted to tell her and say, hey, I want to thank you for something. She's like, what? I said, I have been telling all of my friends about the 80-year-old that yelled at me and told me I was ugly at the gym.
That is horrible.
That's so rude, dude. I would never do it. Of course, it went through my head though. Yeah, but that's a good one, huh?
Well, your mind automatically goes like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
This is why I'm being made into a better man. So I'm stop thinking like that. Yeah. Yeah. Well, welcome. Cheers. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
But that, I thought that would. It's the zinger, and I thought, well, what an asshole move that would be.
Yeah, totally.
What an asshole move.
Well, now everyone can see what I've dealt with you. In our past of where your mind actually goes.
Oh shit! There we go, Jesse Joy. All right, I wanted to take this first of all. 2024 was fantastic in recap formation.
It was a better year for me too. It was good.
Yeah, it was the best in every way.
Yeah,
like everything is firing, clicking, moving, going direction. And so that was awesome.
Yeah.
2025 is off to a roaring start. But more than anything, I feel like the energy for us, especially even here, like what we're even doing literally just here, is getting more and more clear on this is a very specific show for a very specific guy. This dude is a winner. This dude is winning in a lot of areas of his life. And this dude is getting his ass kicked in other areas of his life. Specifically, he's struggling with how does this male-female dynamic actually fucking work?
Yeah.
And us speaking to him almost sounds offensive to people who don't need his help, our help. Meaning like people in the light don't understand how important light is like a person in the darkness does.
Yes.
So
they take it for granted.
So somebody thinks I have a pretty good marriage. And then they hear us talking about like the depths of despair that we went in our marriage by acting like a total douchebag and not even knowing how bad I was in it until my eyes woken up. And I was like, oh shit, wait, what are you talking about? If they've never been through that, it sounds like we're like radically off.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, we're the only ones who've been through that. Like, I don't need that. We're good. That's how they feel in their relationship. And but they're like, they see us and they're like, whoa, I haven't been through that. That's too much. They're too crazy. And then all of a sudden, a couple years down the road, they go through some dark stuff. And then they're like, hey, I saw you 2 years ago. I could use your help now. Yeah. But that's just the path that they're on. Yeah. And they don't see it yet.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I bet you there was a Keith Yackey and a Jesse out there in the world when 8 years ago when you left me, that was talking about, there was a dude, how to get your ex back. I watched that 93 videos I watched of that guy. So there was a guy that had already been down the path and I came calling on the phone with this motherfucker the same way I'm talking to these beautiful men that call me. What the fuck, dude? That is so insanity. That is so insanity that it actually happens that way. But that's the clarity that I think we've come to is, hey, we're talking to a guy who feels like he's radically trapped and doesn't know what to do, feels like he's tried everything, but also has like a moral compass towards, dude, I don't want to do a bunch of crazy shit, or I'm in the middle of doing a bunch of crazy shit and I feel bad about it and I don't want to be doing this anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a particular psychology of a guy that says, why can't I figure this out? Why can't I get her to like me when everybody else likes me? So these are the phrases and statements I wanted to go over today to see if you could place. It's got a little bit of a game show feel. Okay, I hope you like this. It's a little bit of a game show feel.
Right.
I like the off color on that. The buttons. Stop with
Get
that.
out of here. We're recording a show.
We are recording a show here, and those you got some great buttons. So, what I want to see if you can give an example of when I did this. Because let me just start with the first one, and it will be kind of like as we do it, you'll see what happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, this is what a guy will tell me he's experiencing or the way he sees a certain thing. He sees a date night as take your wife out, go do something with her out in public, so then you can get to the main event, which is sex afterwards.
Yeah.
Almost every guy looks at date night that way until he starts to wake up, if he ever does.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you felt with me, and do you remember a specific time?
I feel like more of this is how you would handle it. I'm going to put in effort and you make up whatever you think that I want, but it's still easy for you to do. So you take me on a date or put in a little effort to get what you want, and then you're like, I'm good for however long now. And then the energy just goes away.
Weekly or longer than that?
It depends on your energy level of what you got going on. So that's how it used to be.
What was it like back then?
Well, frustrating because I'd be like, oh, we're finally getting somewhere.
Yeah.
And then the next day it's like you're poof, gone again.
Out. So I have to know, because this is like, I want to dive into where you were at this moment. Is because I hear the way we talk about our, like people that come and talk to us about their relationships, and we know the patterns, and like he was doing this, and then he stopped. Okay, is that would be something like, yeah, he really helped with Jovi this week, and then you go for 2 weeks, and he hasn't even checked in once.
I remember even like saying, like, okay, I need your help a little more, blah blah blah, get a little defensive, whatever. Then you would do it.
I would get a little defensive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's my move.
It is.
It used to be my move.
And then you would do the things, and then it would taper off, and then be a long time. But I would give you praise when you were doing the things. I'm like, oh, it's so great, it's so amazing. And I feel like right when I said the good praise, not that I'm going to take away the praise, but I'll keep praising you. But then I think you felt like you were doing good, and then so you're like, not consciously, unconsciously, you're like, she's good now. Focus on something else, and like a week or two go by, I'm like, I need your help again. So I felt like I had to like keep bringing it up to you.
That would make so much sense of why when you left, you were like, no, I can't go back.
Yes,
I can't go back because
it does nothing sticks.
Nothing sticks.
Mm-hmm.
And
it will never stick because I've tried this long. I've said all the things, and he still go back to his ways. He's still selfish. He still has a big ego. I cannot go back anymore.
The selfishness and the big ego.
Mm-hmm.
It is not your amigo. It is so devastatingly. It causes a man to be delusional.
Exactly.
And not understand where he's really at.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting that you said that you would praise me, and then
because I felt like specifically to praise you, be like, keep doing it, like yes.
Yeah, you're saying I like that.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
That's normal.
Yeah,
like that's a normal thing to do when you're happy about something to express gratitude for it, right? So you did that, and then I would stop it, and it feels like the core actual awareness that happened to me at that moment was, you don't get something, like you don't get to not make deposits and then keep extracting withdrawals.
Right.
Like that there didn't seem to be an accountability. I didn't link the two together, that there was an accountability piece there. I'm realizing in my mind.
Yeah.
And that's why I think a lot of these guys, okay, here's another one that will piggyback on that, that'll tie in, that I think will explain this even deeper. I provide, so I'm entitled to this. So all this extra stuff, this is another mindset that a guy thinks. All this extra stuff I'm doing, you're welcome.
Yep.
And so there's a lady that's saying, I need a minimum of actual fucking being here.
Yeah.
Like, are you even in this relationship? Do you even care? Are you even present? Or do you even want to connect on anything I like to connect about? Or is it just me listening to you the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, here's the minimum. And he is thinking, I'm doing all of this, so anything extra I do is this. But in reality, it's still way down here. And so he's like, praise me for this minimum I'm doing. And you're like, you're barely doing the minimum.
Right. When we first got back together, we came up with the bucket system. And that worked for us for a while because how many buckets were there? I don't know.
7 or 8.
Yeah. So we came up with buckets, or like, they kind of turned into the dials, but these are the buckets of how much I need all these different things, however many buckets. And you were just fulfilling the money, you know, we turn it into the dials now, but I need connection and best friend and talking and parent and all these things. So your dial, your bucket was full on, you know, making money and doing your job, like as a man, as a father, in that bucket.
Yeah.
Bone ass dry in the other ones.
Bone ass dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a wife in that position now, because she's so fed up and had been thinking about this for a long time, will start looking and noticing other men in those areas where she's bone dry as attractive. And when you notice that, then you should realize in yourself, like, well, I'm missing a lot of these things. And that's to the point to where I got. And then your entitlement and defensive-ness and ego about me, well, like, you're fucking welcome. You have a great life. But so neglected in all the other buckets. That's how we started with the bucket system.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it's like a classic case of two people are looking at a situation literally the opposite. The man's like, look what I provided. And she's like, yeah, but you don't even know how to be a human being.
Yeah.
Like, I have nobody to talk to.
What's so sad too is wives feel like because they're being provided for, most of wives or have kids, or because of these certain situations, like, not allowed to bring up the things that they're lacking or missing because it doesn't seem grateful. And some certain things that you used to say in the past is like, but I'm doing all this. So it'd make me feel like I couldn't say anything that I was lacking because I'm being provided for and taken care for. I'm not allowed to feel a lacking in our relationship, but I was.
I don't even know if most guys could even handle hearing that from their wife. Hey, I'm lacking some things. Can we have a conversation?
I guess we should say it in a better way, but it's
no. You're saying it perfectly. You're using English. I don't mean to interrupt you, but like, you're saying it fucking perfectly. Guys just
their ego will get in the way from hearing it.
But it's not because they're coming from a different frame.
Yeah.
They're coming from a totally different land.
Yeah.
They've been sold something totally different their entire life. So they're looking this way, and you're going, why don't you see back there? They're like, no. I've been taught to look this way. I've been taught to look this way. And if I look back that way, that's bad. And I don't want to be bad. So, like, I'm the man. I want to provide, and everyone else is going to fucking wait on me. And I'm not even going to care about necessarily the soul of the human I'm communicating with. Like, I didn't aim to be your best friend. Yes, I had a tremendous amount of fun with you, but I wasn't inquisitive about who you are and, like, tell me more about that. And like, tell me, I want to go to something that you like. I wasn't that way. But how the fuck are you supposed to have an actual relationship with a human being if one of them is not even interested in the other one?
Yeah.
And then they go, well, where's my sex? You're like, dude, you are so fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Because you're not even into me as a human being. You literally just treat me like I'm just a fucking walking vagina. But it becomes so real. But a man feels entitled to that. I didn't come to that because I wanted to be a dickhead. I came to that because that was all I saw. That was what I learned. That's what I was like. That's how it is.
It makes so much sense as you explain it, why you thought the way you think.
Yeah.
But still, how
stupid.
Yeah.
How stupid.
Like, because I wanted to be your best friend. So, like, that's why I was trying to look at me, you know?
Yeah.
And you did look at me in the beginning, and then for some reason you didn't. I don't know why. Just all your focus went to making money and other things that you cared about only.
Yeah. It's
That's
this,
so sad.
it's just, I don't know. Every successful person I know appears to be selfish from the outside until you understand what their actual psychology is. The psychology of a successful human being has to tap into a lane that says, I'm running this race, I'm going down this lane, and anything that gets in my way will be fucking obliterated because I feel it in my soul that that's who I'm supposed to be, and I'm going to go that way. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that appears very selfish on the outside, but what they're doing is actualizing who they actually see themselves to be.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is when you're running down that lane, you're only seeing it in a couple aspects. You're not seeing it in its totality.
Like you think your wife is a distraction instead of
Yes.
someone to help you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you fundamentally break every rule of any relationship that would ever work ever with the number one relationship, and you don't even know you're fucking doing it. And you wake up and go, wait, what happened? They're like, you haven't talked to that lady in 2 years, like you actually fucking gave any shit about her.
Yeah.
Unless you came around because you needed something.
Sex.
Yeah.
And then didn't do it after. Just the one time to get it.
You get it, and then you bounce, and then you're busy, and then you don't keep your word. Like literally everything that makes any. I'm talking a guy relationship, girls relationship, a work relation, any relationship, which is a relationship is simply how you relating with another human being. Nobody would put up with this shit. Nobody.
Nope.
And yet, it's expected in a marriage. It's not because men are dumb. It's we've been sold something radically different. We don't know what it is. We've created this environment through media, through movies, all the way back in the 20s and 30s, where I'm gonna lay down my coat over the mud puddle so you can walk over and not sully your shoes. That is not how it has worked ever in society. I've been a student of history for like long before studying history might have been cool. I don't even know if it's cool now, but I have read through the fall and decline of Rome. I have read through some of like the biggest historians. They've wrote about these things. This has never happened ever once.
So you're saying men have become pussies?
Men have become pussies trying to be what they were sold to be, and no woman fucking likes it. Except the lucky 1 out of 10, where the personalities mesh so well that I think the 1 out of 10 happy marriages, that's only 1 out of 10 is happy. I think that's the accident, not the actual way the system works. How can you have a 90% failure rate and think that was how it was designed? We would never do that ever in any situation ever, but why do we do it in this? So it's what I'm saying is we've been sold. The American man, the Western man has been sold on a lot of things that he steps down from leadership role. The woman, because you guys are fucking badass, are like, no, we're not going to have a vacuum of leadership. I'm going to fucking step up and do that myself.
Exactly what I wanted to piggyback off of what you just said is that now I see women, because I was watching a reality show, of course, and you see how these women are talking to these men because the men suck now, and then the women are like, do that, da.
Yeah.
Why are you? She's so frustrated in the way he's behaving, non-leadership. So she's like, I have to tell you because you suck, basically.
Yeah.
So now women should not do this, but this is the reason why of the women like belittling and talking to men this way. It's so sad. Now that's how it is. So men, now they step down and curl up in a ball more. And the women are like, da, and they rise up and point and why the fuck are you doing this? You better do this right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's dudes who either find our show, see our ads, whatever, hear through word of mouth, and they're asking the one question is, how do I actually be a really empowered man and also a good lover and get what I want?
Mm-hmm.
How do I go after what I want, which appears to be selfish on the outside, but once you actually realize you've only got one life and that living it for other people is wasting the one you were given and the things that you were entrusted that you were supposed to like harvest and grow because it was entrusted to you, until you understand that it's going to look selfish on the outside, but once you say, no, I've chosen this life, I want to live it to like actually my all, people are going to see what they're going to see.
And you're not saying not be like a kind-hearted, chivalrous man that you have seen in the movies or whatever, but why can't you try to incorporate it all? Why can't, and you said living for yourself, that means doing things that keep you aligned with you. So sticking to your word, to do things you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. And that means a lot to me, woman.
Yeah.
You're keeping your word to me. That's still being that kind, gentle man, but a strong leader as well.
Yeah, I've always called it a gentleman with an edge. Like, I would do anything for you.
Yeah. And I know that. It feels good.
But not because I'm trying to get something from you, but it's because I love you and I adore you, and there's certain people in my life that if they ask me to do something, I'm like, dude, I'm here. That is an element of a very powerful and strong relationship, not just a marriage. That's a powerful, strong relationship. So it's like, I think
she's having a dream.
Hopefully it's a good one. I hope those are cries of joy. I hope that's cries of joy. All right, so
she's dreaming about the gardener.
She's dreaming. Valentine is whimpering over in the corner, but she's dreaming and kicking and scratching and being awesome. So, where were we?
Yeah, I lost track.
Yeah, I did too. But I think where we were at is, I can just pick it up right here, and it's the man wants to be able to be a savage and like go do things that are meaningful to him, make money, be in shape, feel like he's challenging himself and all those things. But he also wants to learn, well, how do I actually be a lover? How can I be that guy? And I think what has been sold to them is you can't be that guy and this guy.
Exactly.
You can't be a leader and a fucking,
masculine man and be a great lover. But that's what it means to be a masculine man.
That's okay. So now
that's the switch.
It's
not toxic.
Where do we learn this? Nowhere.
Yeah.
I didn't learn this from anybody. I experienced it.
Yeah.
I had friends that were in very masculine, like one step away from the mafia. Like I know people that have a way of being that get what they want, and you watch them. A friend of mine was a president of a motorcycle club, and I have been at his place and seen how they operate and seen how men who live by the code of a man, I see how they operate very, very differently than the stuff you see in movies or TV shows or whatever.
Totally.
Like this. So that's reality. And so I think understanding and experience, I've been all over the world. I've traveled Africa. I've been so many places. The Middle East, spent like weeks there, eating at spots with the men of the city, feeling, and my eyes have seen a lot of different things. And I go, wow, the American man doesn't realize he can be this guy and this guy at the same time. He thinks he has to be one or the other, but that's not even remotely close to being true.
Exactly.
And that's what every woman wants, is for her man to be like, I'm on a rocket ship to wherever it is that we're going because I'm with this guy. And he thinks that if he stops, and I don't even think he thinks this, he's not aware of it.
Right.
I don't think these men are aware.
Unconsciously told his whole life that's what, let me do all the things to make her happy, her happy, her happy, that I've seen in the movies or seen or I've learned.
Yes.
And then she's like, turns around and she's like, well, I'm not happy because you're not a masculine, honorable, strong leader man I want to follow. And that's frustrating because we want that. We really want that. And there's like hardly any men out there doing it. Or if they're masculine, a lot of men, they think they have to be like, rah, rah, rah.
Yeah.
And we don't want that either.
And then this clip will go out into the internet with what you just said. And most people will be like, there's other ways of doing it. There's other ways. No, you're wrong. This is what women want. They want a masculine man who's on top of his shit, who's pushing forward, and they want him to have a side where he actually follows the laws of a relationship, and that
tender,
is
loving,
like also valuing you.
Yes, I want it all. And that's okay to want it all too.
Well, you're supposed to. Why wouldn't? Who said that you're not?
I don't know. My
supposed
desire
to?
feels like I want it all. So why is it wrong?
It's not.
It's not.
But this world says it is.
Right.
And there's going to be people in the comments that are like,
That's okay.
I'm
living a great life. They can say whatever they want.
Not everybody has businesses. Not everybody. Yeah, because you've chosen not to.
Right.
Oh, no. I was up at 4 a.m. studying and reading and going to seminars. I was the one staying up late at night. I was the one flying to the spots. I was the one saying, I need this knowledge and I'm not afraid to fucking put it in action and fail. Yeah. I did all of that. So you can too. Mm-hmm. Now, here's what's the interesting thing. The guy is so blind to the fact that this is his role. Everybody wants to blame feminism. I'm right there with them. Except, how the fuck did they get in? What group of weak men let all these bullshit ideas in?
Weak men.
Yeah, who have been separated. Small little families, all dotted across the country. Nobody has a place to gather anymore. People don't want to go to church and listen to one guy who's fat and fucking jerking off to porn behind his wife's back and trying to teach the scripture, who nobody believes he's actually living it, or he's got them all fucking fooled. You're going to get smart, integral, awesome, strong, powerful men into one room and let one of the weaklings fucking talk. That's how feminism got in my opinion. Weak ass men. Anyway, all that to say is I want to go on record and be like, our society is fucking backwards.
Yeah.
And women are begging for it to be turned around. And the only way it's going to be turned around is by guys going, no. Hold on a second. I'm not doing all this shit to get something from you, wife. I'm doing this shit because this is what a man's supposed to be. He should be an example in every single fucking area of his life. And if he's not, he needs to be working on that.
Yep.
I'm building my business so that it gets bigger. I'm building my body so it gets better. I'm building my creation, my connection with my creator so I can live and experience this life in the deepest way possible. I'm pouring into you because I love having a great fucking relation. There's nobody that gives me more joy than you will on this earth. If you take that joy away, I can find it with somebody else, but I've never experienced more than with you. So that's valuable to me. It's worth putting the effort in. It's worth having a great relationship with our daughter, so that way she can be like, yeah, my dad actually helped shape me. I asked her this morning. We're driving home. I go, what do you think about sales? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? And she goes, well, I don't want to sell any of my stuff for really cheap. I go, okay. So I'm realizing this is over her head.
Yeah.
But I want to start introducing to her that selling is one of the greatest things you could ever do on planet Earth. And you're already trying to do it. You might as well get good at it and understand that selling. And she goes, well, what does that mean? I go, selling is solving somebody's problem. Men, they can't even solve any problems anymore. It's bullshit.
Wife, what do I do? Wife, what do you think I should do? Wife.
Yes. Oh, what a lady boner destroyer. That just destroys it.
Tell me about it.
It just pulverizes it, dude. So these were certain things that I used to think. I'm realizing when you left me, it was like a frying pan across the face. So that, you know what a guy said today? He goes, okay, so what's the difference? This was one of those situations where his story was a lot like ours, which is, man, in the 400 plus people we've come through, there's been like 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's so fun.
That is like really, so like 1 in 100. Basically, the ratio is about a story that's like, she left, she came back, my daughter's almost 10, like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay. And he goes, what's the difference between a wife that's disengaged, disheartened, and not really keeping her distance, and one that's working on it with you. He goes, what's the difference in the program for that? I go,
What'd you say?
I said 6 weeks.
Oh. With you.
Do what we tell you for 6 weeks. She'll go from distance and disengaged to now, okay, hey, we're working on this together.
So true.
We've
seen it so many times.
He goes, oh, shit. I go, it's the same process.
Yep.
It's just where are you at on the path of, where are you at on the path of awareness to realizing it's not kind of on you. It's all on you, motherfucker. And this is this spirit. I want to talk to something right now that is where I'm sensing these guys. I've talked to enough men on this one topic and their insecurities, fears, and shit, because they all tell them to me. Mm-hmm. Probably in the darkest area of their life. So they're willing to expose it because I have to get out of this. It's this fucking bad.
They're that desperate at that point.
Yeah. And the general theme out of almost all of them is, dude, I don't know how to fucking make this girl happy. And I'm so miserable trying. Nothing's working. And actually anything or everything I'm doing seems to make it worse.
Yep.
So there is effort. Mm-hmm. There is intention, but it's not working.
It's all wrong.
Why? So that one, and I feel like all these men don't understand their birthright. Mm-hmm. Like your birthright as a man is to have a woman, and maybe multiple, depending on what part of the Bible you believe in or life.
Yep. That
loves you and adores you because you provide for them the safety, stability, seen. It is just that's our guy.
That's how you see a woman really thrive in her feminine. She's strong, she's independent, she's loving, caring, a great mother. That's when a woman flourishes. Mm-hmm. When she has that safety, connection, security,
and that's
love.
Why a woman wants this so bad.
So bad. Also, it's so important for us to be this so we can have our next generation be this. Mm-hmm. And then the next. Like Jovi sees and will never accept a man not already on top of his shit. Like she already sees boys in her class and she's like, why is he so defensive? Because I taught her what that is. Everything I say goes, but you do it too. She's like, I cannot take it. So she's already like, I'm not ever going to be with a man that defensive. Like, so it's so important for us to learn then to teach. So we help our children. Mm-hmm. Then everyone will flourish, stay together. We'll have better children. We'll have a better life, better world.
Okay. You brought up an interesting word that I really want to dissect with you here for just a second. Mm-hmm. You brought up the word defensive. Mm-hmm. Okay. What is this man defending? I want to get into this because this is way.
Are you asking me right now?
I am asking you.
His ego.
Okay. From what?
From being hurt at all, from being wrong at all. Because a man is never supposed to be wrong. You tell me. Mm.
Well, I want to.
I'm doing all this. I'm not wrong. That's what you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
How dare you say that? Look at all that I'm doing.
So what is he defending there?
I guess all the work that he's doing, that he feels like he's doing. Mm. This is what I'm coming up with because every time in our past, I would bring something up, you would get defensive. Well, and then I said, it makes me feel like I can't have any other thing that I'm mad about ever. Well, you don't take me on dates, but look at all I'm doing. Well, I feel disconnected, but look at all I'm doing. Like, what are you guys defending? You tell me.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows yet, and we're going to have to figure it out.
Looks like you got a lot of thinking to do for our next one.
I have it right now, ready.
Go.
Yeah, so.
Shoot.
This is my first rough draft.
Okay.
This
is my best current
me.
thinking.
All right. Glug, 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 glug.
Okay, go.
7 inside jokes in
I know,
7
I
seconds. Welcome to Married Game. Okay, so if a man has been taught to believe that he needs to put his woman on a pedestal and do all the things that our society, all the stuff, because that's what a man's supposed to do. And she is, and he's doing it the way he thinks he needs, but he's not doing it like every guy, like, is not doing it the right way. 9 out of 10, not doing it. So
From evidence, obviously.
So something's fucked up.
Yeah.
I think it sets up that he's playing, like, if you think about defense, I played sports my whole life. The guy on defense isn't the one out there shooting goals. There's a defensive mindset, stop the offense from coming this way. There's an offensive mindset that I'm trying to advance to something different. So what is he defending against? I think he's defending against, there's a piece inside of him. I'm going to go off the reservation here, but this is my thoughts.
Okay.
Current best thinking, and I'm rolling with it. Deep in the heart of a man, he knows he's supposed to be a leader, and he doesn't know how to actually lead his wife. And so when she is saying these things, he's trying to defend his honor within that he's doing his thing as a man, and he doesn't actually know what the fuck he's doing. But he doesn't believe a man is not supposed to know what the fuck he's doing.
Wow. Yeah. Because he's been taught if you make money and you pay your house bills, that's it. You're doing good. That's what society has been taught. That's why that older generation, they made the money. That's it. And you better be happy. That's been taught into now our generation. And he's meeting the requirements, but he's never seen what a leader is, ever. And how? Oh, that's so sad. So he's like, I am the leader. I'm paying my bills. I'm doing the things. But you're missing so much to life. So much.
So he's defending his stake as the claim as the leader, not realizing he is not actually being an actual leader. Meaning, yeah, he might be leading the house and the affairs of the money. I've always done that. But he doesn't know how to lead her heart into being the best version of her, which is the version that she can let all of her walls down.
Yeah.
So when a guy told me today, he's like, I hear what you're telling me that happens in your life and in your bedroom. It's a dream of mine, but I don't know anybody who actually has pulled it off. I go, I didn't really either, dude. So we're all on this adventure together.
Yeah.
But here's what I know. If you look at all the ancient societies, and you had these men, and they all had multiple wives, and wives felt amazing. They loved it. Not everyone loves marriage now. But what they think is he's the big guy and he has this harem of women because he's the man. Not true. He understood he had to pour into the relationships of these women. So yes, you have to be the guy that provides all this other stuff. But if you want to be the leader of her, leadership only simply means influence. If you want to have a tremendous amount of influence over this woman, you have to understand the things about a woman that she's actually wanting, not the things that you've been told and sold and bought into, the biggest fucking lie, Hollywood and all this other modern bullshit. It's not real. And I've been around enough man-only societies, and I've been around enough of the rough man societies where, like, it's the top dog is the guy that it's because nobody else would want to fuck with him. That's how it actually works in, like, real man life. And they've been sold all this, and they have no idea how to get it back. And they have no idea that if you treat a woman a certain way, she will literally treat you the same way in kind. So They get defensive because they don't know why you're supposed to want to fuck me. You're supposed to do what I say. You're supposed to love, worship, and adore me. And you're not. So there must be something wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
Has been taught to every boy since he was a kid in the last probably 100 years.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
And women are now smart enough to go, no, wait a second. Here's another thing I think that was really interesting. Social media came out and started showing what the peak of each sex looks like, drives, talks like. So now you can go, I never seen anybody rich and buff and have shit. Well, you can go on the internet and they're all over there. Now women go, the standard has changed. I now know what a top dog actually looks like. So now they're not settling for this mediocre bullshit. And so the guy who's at the top has his pick of all the pretty ladies he wants. The guy just not very down far below barely has the pick of anything. It's very asymmetrical. It's like the top 5% of dudes are the ones having all the sex. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's actually the law of the jungle. That's how it fucking works. Mm-hmm. So we've got all these guys going, well, I want access to sex and I want access to adoration. You have to be this tall to ride the ride. You have to be this tall.
If you want a 10-10-10.
If you want that.
Be a 10-10-10.
And you'll never, ever, have a lack of options. But most men won't do the work, or they won't do the work long enough.
Yep.
Long enough. And what's the work? The work is being around other dudes and letting them call you on your shit that you can't see, and be around other guys that have actually expanded further than you. Dude, I found this new billionaire on the internet that I fell in love with. And I genuinely go, you know what? That actually looks cool. What that guy's doing, the way he's living his life, the way he's doing his thing, and it sparks something in me. It's like, motherfucker, when I'm 82, I want to be in that guy's position. Have you ever heard me say that about anybody?
No. You don't like to look at a lot of people.
I'm not interested.
So he resonates with you.
I just go, oh, motherfucker. Mm-hmm. Now it gives me a little spark of an example of, okay, this is the true alpha dog in one regard. Mm-hmm. All that to say is that has almost been, you know how they do they put genes together and they can breed genes in and out of certain things. It's almost like they're trying to breed the be a bad motherfucker gene out of men.
That's so sad because it's so hot.
Yeah.
Like when we watch the movies, if we're going to talk about movies, and we see the badass man, and then he has his wife, a girl on the side, and he's all nice to her. Like that's everything that we'd want.
Yeah. Yep. History has told it to us. Mm-hmm. Our society has gone a different direction and said, no, we're going to do it our way. And the results have been 1 out of 10 succeeds. Happily. Like, there's no more joy a man can have than having a wife that loves and adores him, and they have sex. And it's not just sex, but it's like soul. It's connected. It's building life together. Like, this is the cream of the crop of a feeling that a man is after in his life. That's it. There's no top above that. Mm-hmm. And 9 out of 10 people crash trying to climb that mountain. How can the greatest thing, greatest pleasure, greatest connection, greatest like gratitude, creating another human being, and then going, oh my God, look at this thing. Yeah. We get to raise it and we get to pour into it. There's nothing better than that experience on planet Earth, and yet it's the hardest thing for people to find under this model, under this level of awareness. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, guys, let me show you what the wheel looks like. This is going to be really interesting, but you're going to go along a lot further if you just use the wheel. That's the current state of affairs as we roll into 2025. We understand our guy, and we're going to keep talking to him like, hey, like I'm talking to you right now. Your birthright is to have a woman that loves and adores you and wants to fucking suck your dick. Like, wants to do it because it makes you happy and pleasurable. You're not going to hear this in other spots, but in your heart, that's what you want. Every guy wants it. Every guy, when he's willing to admit it, says, I want a wife that loves me. The problem you're experiencing is you're not actually that lovable. And that was my experience. I was so fucking unlovable, Jesse had to leave me. She's like, I'm not putting up with this bullshit. You got a lot of potential, but boy, you are not fucking doing it. You're not even hitting basic minimums. Bone ass dry in a lot of areas. And that's just because I didn't know. As you just heard in this talk right here, I didn't know. I wasn't aware. I had no awareness to what it was until I became aware. And now you go, I can't fucking unsee it anymore. That's what we're talking about. You're a good fucking dude. You figured out how to get through life. And a lot of you guys who listen to this are successful businessmen. You've learned the principles of of value and value exchange. You just are not applying those to your relationship with your wife. Go think about your greatest vendor or relationship with the people you do business with and how much attention, and how well you know them is. If you just simply apply that basic fucking principle to your marriage would improve overnight. So you have the skills to do this. I'm not smarter than you. I've just taken more reps and have been down this path just ahead of you and telling you all the things that I made the mistake on. This is why Jesse and I do this. It's why we're talking to you specifically. We know there's a lot of people that don't agree with a lot of things we say, and they don't have the fucking fruit that we experience, so we don't care. If you want the fruit that we are experiencing and that the 400 plus guys that come to Married Game experiencing, well, go to marriedgame.com and get honest. Watch the videos there. And get honest with yourself and go like, dude, you know what? Am I asking for something I'm not even worthy of? Am I even fucking this foot tall to get on the roller coaster? Or do I need to look inside and actually do some real reflection and real growing? Do I need to get around some other men that have what I want so that they can knock the lies and bullshit and fucking brainwashing out of me so I can get what I want? Well, then you're our people. Go to marriedgame.com. And for those of you guys who were sent this by your wife, we love when hot moms and grandmas watch and listen to our show. So all you hotties out there that are listening to this, even though it's just for guys, we're going to give a little tip of the hat to you. Just the tip of the hat. Any closing comments for you, beautiful lady, 2025? Excited?
I'm excited for this year.
Yeah, every day is such a blessing, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gift, and I want to open it up to its fullest degree every day. So with that being said, head to marriedgame.com. You too can have a really kick-ass marriage and keep crushing it, because that shit, it's contagious.
Yeah, I need a bag, bruh. Send it through quickly. I'm making his dog like I'm in the big leagues. Yeah, I told him I'ma hit it out of stands.